Hello and good afternoon, everybody. Please let me know in the chat if you can hear me clear. Okay. So I would like to welcome you all to this awesome webinar with my awesome vendors, Trend Micro and Microsoft, where we will be showing you how awesome could be and how secure could it be to deploy your solution on the cloud. I'll be starting with a small introduction from Alnafitha, and then we will move into my colleague here, Sultan from Microsoft, to talk about Azure deployment and the secure deployment of Azure. So Alnafitha is a company that started in the market as a Microsoft partner in 1996 and been thriving since in all type of aspects of system integrator. We do have a different service and products that we offer, including IT solution, consultation services, volume licensing, and IT support. In terms of IT solution, we do have infrastructure deployments and on-premise or on cloud, including all Microsoft products and also Trend Micro products. We have IT service management, which is coming from Zoho Manage Engine, which help you with your management of your IT soft services, and IT operation management, which help you monitor and make sure that your environment and your network is healthy and running as it should be. Also, we have a security product, as I explained, from Trend Micro that will help you from endpoint until the end of your network with firewall and everything in between. Alnafitha also offers some consultation services. We have an ITIL, ISO, and COBIT and SDI certified people that will help you with getting certification and implementing these standards in your organization. We have a team dedicated for volume licensing that will help you make sure that your license is cost effective and done correctly and can help you with the contract management through the 3 year that's required with Microsoft, or through yearly or 3 years required with Trend Micro. Also, we are offering for limited time some value added services to all the people who come with us in terms of licensing. So please make sure to contact us to check on that. And finally, we have IT support, and Alnafitha offer different needs that different plans that fit your needs. From Alnafitha Premier, which is managed services that we offer you end-to-end solution for your SLA requirement. Also, we have on-demand that you can customize and make sure the plan fits you based on your needs. And we have also outsourcing, whether it's on-premise or even in a remote location, that a dedicated engineer will be just working for you and helping you manage your network. We are a gold Microsoft partner when it's come to cloud and productivity, among other gold Microsoft partnership. And we are also proud to be Trend Micro Silver partner. So we can help you with implementing either of the solution that will be talked on today or any other solution from these two awesome vendors. And you have any requirement, just contact us. You can find our offices in Riyadh, Cairo, Dammam, and Jeddah. Also, you can connect me directly on the numbers shown up for any queries, and I will be more than happy to help you with it. I hope you have an informative session, and I hope you like the materials that will be presented by my colleague here. So I'm now transferring the session to my colleague here, Sultan, who will help you with that.
Hello, everybody. Just need to make sure that my mic is working well. Can you hear me? Guys, please confirm on the chat if you can hear me. Yeah, amazing, amazing. Okay, just let me share my screen. And now you can see my screen, right? Just another confirmation, please. Yeah, cool. Okay. So, hello and welcome. This is actually Mohammed Sultan from Microsoft. I'm a cloud solution architect. I'm looking after Azure apps and infra. Today, actually, I'm going to give you an overview about Azure. What is Azure? What is actually the digital feedback loop, and how Azure can help you actually to run your workloads in the cloud. And then I'm going to give it back to my colleague, Train Micro, to show how their solutions could support in securing your workloads in Azure. So, okay, just to give you an understanding, the digital transformation now, everyone's talking about the digital transformation or digital feedback loop. And this is actually the integration of digital technology into all areas of business. And this is actually something to change how you are going to operate and deliver value to your customers. And a digital transformation is very important nowadays because it's help you to transform your products, help you to respond to the market needs, it's help you actually to come up with the new ideas to respond to the market needs currently. A very good example now, we actually are working from home. If we don't have a solutions to present virtually or to something to help us to deliver webinars virtually, we will not have any other ways actually to deliver something to you guys. So this is something actually, a very good example to have a digital transformation for, applied practical way. So if you would like, to have it in a theoretical way, so this is actually a use for new and technology to solve problems. One of the examples of the digital transformation is cloud computing, because we all agree that the cloud provides you with a lot of features, with a lot of benefits in terms of auto scaling, dynamic resource pooling. Purchasing hardware is not there yet. Something actually it's managed by cloud provider to give you these benefits and to help you to respond to the market needs. But it's not an easy, to be honest, uh, because customers, although they understand the value of the cloud transformation or the digital transformation using the cloud computing, but there are a lot of top minds. These are the top of minds concerns and challenges. We're always hearing from the IT leaders why they are transition their core application to the public cloud. For example, is the cloud secure for my core application? This is something actually we are going to discuss it a lot today. How they can ensure that the application will continue to run without interruptions. If you remember the last 2 weeks back, we had very good sessions on the backup part on Azure, how they can leverage the existing knowledge. So this is actually top of my concerns. But let's actually, before starting taking them one by one, so uh, every organizations adopt a different journey while they are moving to the cloud. And this journey is specific to the workloads and the current capabilities of the organization has and the existing capabilities. Organizations might starting with migrating or extending, or sometimes they are innovating. This is actually different strategy based on the organization themselves. And that's actually take us to the different cloud offering, which is what I'm doing in my traditional on-premise against what is there on the cloud in terms of infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, or software as a service. On the left side, you can see the traditional way of deployment. You are controlling as a customer, you are controlling everything from in your data center, everything, maintenance, cooling, um, networking, storage, servers. And based on your strategy and the migration strategy, whether it's a lift and shift or just a migrating, because of some triggers have been raised, like they say, or data center contract have been expired and you need to leverage the cloud as part of your solutions. So you can just starting with migrating it at the lift and shift, or you would like to increase the innovation and decrease the operation, so which is the platform as a service. You just would like to focus on the application, and everything related to the infrastructure should be by the hand. But why actually I bring this slide in front of you? Because this is a shared responsibility. There is something that you need to, at each stage or in every cloud model, there is something that you need to manage it. Application and the data, identity. Security is a shared responsibility. I can secure the infrastructure, but I'm giving you some tools, but you need, as a customer, you need to secure your data. You need to secure your data. Yes, I can secure it, providing you with that no one can access from an infrastructure perspective. But if you didn't actually follow the best practices in your application, like SQL injection, for example, you need to take care of them. If you didn't do a code analysis, for example, so sometimes you need to take care of them. We are providing a platform to support you on this part. And this is actually something very good to share with you. Do you see this chart? You will find actually, we did actually a survey using one of our partners, Forrester. They already conducted a primary market research study sponsored by Microsoft across the 4,000 organization. The top, as you can see here, the top is because customers are looking for improving the security and compliances. We will see how Microsoft invested a lot on the security to make sure the platform is secured enough. I think that the customers can't, to be honest, to fulfill with all of these compliances, to invest with $1 billion per year to make sure that the platform is actually secured enough. So this is actually a very, very funny one, because 44% from the customers answered that they would like to improve the security and compliances. And for others, for sure, they would like to improve their performance, reduce the overall IT. But it's a good thing that to see that how customers are seeing the cloud journey is secured and they are compliant rather than the data center there. So why do you need to run your core application in Azure? Azure actually comes and provides you with the different features here in terms of flexibility, choices of the workload that can support your business application, the business continuity and disaster recovery options, security and compliance. I'm going to focus more on the first three ones, which is the choices, business continuity, and the security compliances here. When it comes to the comprehensive infrastructure, it gives you a delivered choices of and flexibility, different workloads, Windows or Linux, Windows or Linux kernel based, a single tenant or a multi-tenant, different processes to support you, which is a memory optimized, general purpose, different workloads to help you to deploy your application based on your needs. Let's focus and give more discussions on the choices and flexibility that can be provided by Azure. So Azure offers virtual machines types and sizes that can address almost every type of workload. It could be dev and test workloads, trustable workloads, and of course, long-running mission-critical production workloads such as SAP, from customer-facing application to the one that actually focus on the business. And this is actually true for Windows and Linux-based application. In fact, we provide joint development, by the way, and this is very important that you need to understand that we have a joint product development across Microsoft and Red Hat, and there is a 24/7 support engine actually. But this is because of our partnership with the open source partners who are providing open source operating system. Looking at the hardware capabilities, we offer a VM series optimized for compute, memory, disk, GPU, intensive workloads. The network, our network and storage infrastructure capabilities, it's also one of the options, or something actually help you to come up with a pretty cool solutions to be hosted in Azure. One more thing which is have been announced recently, which is a dedicated hardware or a dedicated workloads in Asia. We have something called a single tenant physical service dedicated to your organizations, which is operated by Microsoft in our data center, but it's just for you a single tenant physical service. So we are trying to power, give you a different choices to help you to host your workloads at the end. We are offering 3 unique value points to our customers. Over 50% of the Azure VMs cores are running on Linux. There is a very, very good thing that I would like to share with my customers here, that that based on our numbers, the number of customers who are running open source operating systems or open source workloads, such as operating systems such as Red Hat, SUSE, Enterprise, are more than the Windows workloads in Egypt. We have a strong partnership with Linux publisher, Red Hat, SUSE, CentOS. So that's why we are providing a good support when it comes to these workloads. In addition, actually, if you would like to have a PaaS solutions for running your containers using one of the famous orchestrations such as Kubernetes, OpenShift, you will find these solutions also in Asia. This is actually in terms of the VMs, or actually yes, virtual machines that's running on an operating systems. In terms of the PaaS services, or even actually when it comes to the database, you will find the virtual machines, whatever the workload or whatever the operating system you're looking for. So you will find actually this is available on between your hands. And also when it comes to the PaaS services that's supporting the databases, you will find Postgres as a PaaS, you will find MySQL as a PaaS, Maria database, it's part of the option as well. Yep. To give you just an overview about the current supported workload, we have different computing options for every workload. Azure offers infrastructure for every workload I mentioned: dev and test, long-running, mission-critical production workloads, customer-facing applications, to the one that mainly considering the business parts, such as SAP. VM series optimized for computing, memory, disk, or GPU intensive workloads, and this portfolio is growing. We have a certified workloads for SAP workloads, the M series. Recently, we are going to announce the E series, Godzilla for dev and test, and for M for the production. We have the E series, you can use it for the dev and test for different workloads or different SAP modules. Why I'm actually mentioning SAP a lot, because this is actually something that show how we are supporting the different workloads at the end. Microsoft was the first cloud to offer the purpose-built bare metal SAP HANA. Okay, that's why SAP HANA, which is the database of SAP, which can support it also to be run on Azure to find workloads, and we introduced Azure VMware solutions to host your VMware. When it comes to the disk storage, Azure disk storage options for every workload. Azure Disk Storage offering a comprehensive range of block storage solutions for every workload, from low-cost storage options for backup and high-throughput, low-latency storage for demanding workloads such as SAP HANA. You can choose disk storage options from sizes starting from 4 GB to 64 tera, and for sure everyone comes with the different prices. To give you just an overview, what is the difference between them? Standard HDD, this is the standard HDD, a reliable low-cost storage. Mainly we are suitable for backups and less critical workloads. The standard SSDs provide consistent performance, and it's suitable for web servers and lightly used enterprise application. And premium SSDs is for high performance and low latency block storage. And the Ultra, this is the fastest disks, and it is actually for the workloads suitable for SAP HANA workloads such as SAP HANA. Okay, and this is just not for for hosting your application. there should be something that help you to connect back, to secure your traffic, to protect your traffic, to protect your application when in terms of networking, to monitor the network, to deliver something faster in terms of to deliver content to be nearest to your customers instead of getting back to the data center. So we are providing a unique range of networking capabilities here. If you would like, as you can see here, if you would like to connect back, so you can connect everything from virtual machines to incoming VPN connections with something called an Azure Virtual Networks. You can connect branch offices, connect business offices, retail locations using something called a virtual WAN, a unified wide area network powered by Azure and Microsoft Global Networking. You can use a private network connectivity where, through an express route here, and the DNS responses to ultra availability for all your domains needs on Azure DNS. When it comes to the other network capabilities, for sure, it's not just about connecting. You need to monitor what is there, diagnosis conditions in terms of network watchers to watch the packets from to the target, from the source to the target. And this is for the networking part. For the protection, all the workloads in Azure, you need to understand this comes with the DDoS, and we have another one which is a standard one, another license. If you would like to have more insights or to run some workbooks with your solution, so this is actually a standard one. But all the workloads comes with the DDoS protection here. So we have a native firewalling capabilities with built-in high availability, and this is actually with using the cloud, the scalability options of the cloud in order to scale automatically. This is actually native firewall, which is Azure Firewall. And we have a very good partnerships with a lot of MVAs to bring their own firewall to be installed in a VM, such as a Palo Alto out of F5. This is part also of our partnership with the ISV solutions here. We have a WAF to deploy a cloud native web application firewall in the front of your web application, and also to access your VM or to access your workload in Azure. Usually we had something called an RDP and SSH, but now we have something called a private Azure Bastion, which will provide you with a private and fully managed RDP and SSH access to your virtual machine with something called an Azure Bastion. You need to try this one because you don't need to download the RDP connections and save it in your machine. You can actually connect to your workload from your browser using the Azure Bastion there. And a private link, because sometimes customers would like to use the patch services, and sometimes the patch service doesn't provide to be hosted in an internet or intranet, a VNet, I mean. So if you would like to utilize the pass, but are some data which is reside in your own premise, there's something called a private link, which is provide you a private connectivity from a virtual machines to Azure platform as a service, which is pass and a customer owned network. And for the delivering part, this is actually a very good one, for the load balancing application gateway, a front door, which is actually a global services acting as like, a layer 7 load balancing, a CDN for providing you with the content delivery network instead of, saving your content at that server itself. So you can save it at our edge point, which is located at different location in our globe. As you can see, we have a unique range of networking capabilities here. Yep. To move faster on the BCDR, which is the second option of Azure, since actually we already discussed this, and this is not our point of discussions in today's session. So just to give you an overview, let's read this from bottom to top. Microsoft builds and operates the foundation. Then the customer chose to enable the relevant services to help with their resilience needs and their application effectively. Microsoft, we invested a lot in the platform. invested in the platform itself. I'm meaning here the physical things like our data centers, Microsoft data centers, the software that managing the scaling part. So, and on top of it, there is, let me actually show you the laser pointer. So on top of it, there are some resiliency features that are built Microsoft, but operated by the customers. It's not mandatory, to be honest, but they are built in the platform so the customers workload that need high availability, backup, disaster recovery can get started quickly. So this is there in your platform. We are going to see how Trend Micro, our friend here, show us, their solutions to securing your application. It's there, but you need to use it in order to make sure that your application is highly, to unlock the business continuity features in your application. So to give you just an overview here, let's see the diagram. On this diagram, you can see the host infrastructure on the top here and the data at the bottom here. Okay, so we have different options here. So everything comes with price for sure. Okay, so where we go from a single virtual machine to a data center to availability zone to a region that consists of multiple zones, you can see the type of disasters and incident here. So you can see the type of disasters and incidents that each are designed to tolerate. For example, single virtual machine, we are offering triple nines per single virtual machine. The data center, okay, the availability sets. So I'm moving to the availability set here. So the data center, we provide capabilities for application that survive even an entire rack failure, and an application that spread across rack, we guarantee 99.95% with those. In the third place here, we are guarantee SLAs for 4 nines. And with the Azure site recovery region pairs, so we are decreasing the RPO and RTOs. So this is actually, I believe this is give you an understanding that we are providing with the options, and you need to operate it. You operate them to achieve and to increase the availability in your application. And you can see at the bottom here, there are different types of impact, including accidental data loss, data corruptions, attacks. We have capabilities into the platform for each of these. Backup, and of course, a backup, it's actually one of the solution here to support in backing up your files. Okay. This is a backup file. So now we understand the different options, the different availability, the SLAs based on your workloads and based on your designing. So you need to take this in your consideration while designing your application in Azure. You need to benefit from what is there in terms of the Azure server that support you to achieve the business continuity and disaster recovery there. Yep. So how Azure can help? Mainly the two servers that support you here, the Azure Backups and Azure Site Recovery. And also the Azure Site Recovery, it's actually using for the migrating your workloads to Azure. Yep. So Azure Backups, just to give you an overview, Azure Backup enable data protection for various workloads on-premise and the cloud. It's secure, reliable, built-in data protection mechanism in Azure. Azure Backup can seamlessly scale its protection across multiple workloads without any management overhead for the customers. So, and we have a very good partnership with different ISVs such as Veeam. This actually provides you with a good understanding how to use this as part of the solution. Yep. And if you remember back, the different storage types, and also there is a different storage types, which is a built-in capabilities such as LRS, GRS, or RAGRS storage. While you are selecting the storage, you will have different types. And also, this is This is very true when you are using one of the VMs. It will tell you would like the availability set or not. So I'm giving you the options. The platform is already built up. We invested a lot on the resilience part. Security and compliance, I will not going to spend a lot because I would like to give our friend Trend Micro to talk about more and more about it. But let's agree on something. Security, this is actually has been a concern in terms of cloud adoption. If you're going to discuss with anyone about the cloud, the first questions come to their mind. This is secure. So it's actually a big concern. But the good thing that we are seeing more customer realize that taking advantage of Microsoft deep investment in security, they could, rather than doing by their own, this is actually a very good starting point to go to the cloud at the end. Azure security and compliance capability are actually strong aspects compared to competitive alternatives here. Okay, let's agree on something. Microsoft invests over $1 billion a year in security, R&D. We have more than 3,000 engineers, cybersecurity experts. So actually the desire for stronger security can be actually a migration trigger. So this is actually one of the migration trigger for having this as a security part. Uh, uh, security, yep. Um, Yeah. So security and management are built in and unified in Azure across all layers of stack, starting from networking, storage, and compute, to enable advanced threat protection for workloads in the cloud and on-premise. That is what Security Center delivers today. So we can protect Azure resources from denial of service threats. I've told you actually that DDoS comes, we know, as part of the service you are getting from Azure. If you would like something like to get more insights, this is actually the other license of DDoS. But all the workloads actually are protecting, all the Azure resources are protected from the denial services threats. And we also make available a specific VM series, which is a DC series. This is part of a broader Azure confidential computing initiatives, and that allow our customers to encrypt the data while in use. If you would like actually to get more information about it, I'm going to share. Sorry, guys, because someone actually is calling me. I need to stop my. Sorry, excuse me, guys. I'm really sorry. Yeah. So we also make available. Yeah. 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 So I was saying actually that we have available a specific VM series, DC series, which is part of the broader Azure confidential computing initiatives. And that's actually allow our customers to encrypt the data while in use. And I was saying that I'm going to share more resources for this after our webinars, because this is actually something very good that you need to look at it. More recently, we also introduced our Azure Sentinel, a cloud security information and event manager SIEM solution that's using a built-in AI to help analyze large volume of data across the enterprise. You can collect it. Azure Sentinel can can collect data from different sources. Logs comes from the load balancer, logs comes from the application. Azure Sentinel aggregates data from different resources, including user, application, server, devices that are running on-premise in the data, and give you an holistic dashboard what is there. And the visualization and dependency, it's something amazing to see at Azure Sentinel to give you an understanding what is there. But actually, you see that the challenges our customers face. Okay, so this is actually, you don't know the taxing of working from home. People are calling you on your mobile phone, so it's, excuse me, accept my apology. However, the challenge is not securing. You can see that we are investing a lot in our security platform. We have built a lot of built-in security. The problem here is the challenge that our customers face go beyond security, the compliance, data sovereignties, and resiliency, and the trust. And that's why we have invested heavily in making sure we continue to grow the number. That's why we are many customers are asking that, why you are opening or you are launching different data center there and there. This is actually because we would like to meet our compliance and data sovereignty. That's why we grow the number of regions, currently over 60, more than any other cloud provider, to have our local presence in addition to global scale. We offer more than 90 compliance certificates and are completely committed to privacy. Our customers own and control the data. We have different solutions like Azure Stack. It's one of our solutions to help you to have the Azure capability but run in your on premise. If you would like to go with our partners which are still local, they are Azure Stack hosted. This is one of the solutions. This is actually answer the data sovereignty and compliance concern. So I'm not going to stay more. As I told you, this is just proving about the 60 plus regions, as I mentioned, over three. Just to give you a nutshell of what I've said, 60 plus Azure region. More than 3,500 security engineers, 91 compliance offering. If you'd like to get more about this, this is actually announced and published in our website. So please have some time to check all of these compliances based on your needs. Yeah. This is just to this take us to at Microsoft. As I told you, we are spending a lot of money every year, and there are Azure built-in controls. I've seen someone ask a question related to the identity and access, which is the migrations part. I'm going to share you a resource how to do it. Yes, this is actually, yes, you can migrate your data from the on-server, on-premise Azure identity provider, which is Active Directory, to the cloud using something called Azure Connect. So a good thing that I need to mention the Azure Active Directory, because this is the world's largest cloud identity service. I'm not going to discuss more about these numbers. You can read it by your own. As you can see that we have more than 100,000 enterprise customers using Azure Active Directory. Wow. 250 million users, monthly active users, and 3 billion daily authentication requests. This is actually a good proof how Azure as a cloud can support all of these transactions on Azure. This is actually Azure Active Directory. Azure Active Directory is a global identity service. Identity service support you, managing your users. There's a lot of benefits. I can't actually mention all of those features. Providing with an SSO, integrating with B2C, business to consumer, identity provider, integrating with an identity provider such as a Facebook, MFA, authentications, a lot of features that we can share with them. We can have like a 4 hours sessions to move all of these features together. Azure Active Directory can help you to connect your workflows to any application with a seamless single sign-on and secure across any location. One of the also protecting our access. You are going to hear this a lot. Zero trust approach. Zero trust is actually a security model where organization always verify first before they trust a user. We have a very good chart, which is a data is reside at the left side, and the right side we have a networking, and then the VM, and then the application, and then this is a zero trust. No one will be authenticated. I will not actually trust anyone to get mine. So this is actually the protect and govern access. It's using a zero trust approach. So there is a policy. If some one of the users are logging from, for example, I used to know that this user is logging from a case A, and suddenly in the next minute I found him actually he's logging from other place. So there's a suspicion there. There's a risk. A location risk. So this is actually, I don't trust the user. So he need to prove himself. He need to, whether to respond back to an MFA, or actually he need to, enter the process again, or actually I need to report back to administrator to allow this user, if there's actually he's looking from a machine actually reside on a data center for something like that. So I don't trust if anyone actually, applying the zero trust approach. Sorry. Yep. So I would like actually, to just give you an overview about the Azure Sentinel, which is a cloud-native SIEM solution for intelligent security analytics. That's why we reimagined the SIEM and SOAR tool to introduce this new cloud-native solution, which is Azure Sentinel. Azure Sentinel, just in a brief nutshell, it's help you to collect data from different locations, on-premise, cloud, organizations, from devices, user, application, server, even any cloud from any other cloud vendors, and give you a holistic view and what is there, and trying to correlate all of these logs together and give you a deep dive understanding, a SIEM solution, and it's cloud native, by the way. Yep. So, and from the other side, Azure Security Center, this is actually for assessing your workloads of your workload cloud resources across virtual machine networking and application, and give you a score and tell you, you forget actually to close this port. No, you are opening this RGB port. Please make sure that you are following this practice. Please make sure that you are following this policy. This is actually our security, Azure Security Center. So the Azure Security Score, the core of Azure Security Center security posture management capability, is provide you an insights into your current state and the recommended action that you need to take it to help you prioritize. So many customers are asking, am I following the best practices of my security? Yes, we do have a checklist that you need to follow while building your landing zone in Azure, but there are something called an Azure Security to help you, Azure Security Center to help you, to understand what is there, what have been missing based on the policies that have been defined or any misconfigurations. This is very good actually in terms of the built-in security with Azure Disk Storage, encryption, disk automatic encryptions, a customer managed keys, seamless integrations with Azure Key Vault. Azure Key Vault, this is actually a place where you can save your password or your certificates. This is part of the solution. Usually I'm using Azure Key Vault with my application to store any application secrets related to. And the good thing about Azure Security or Azure Key Vault, it's not just using a direct access. It gives something called the service principal. It's very similar to service account. If you used to work in the Windows machine, there's something called the service account, which is you are give a privilege, a permission to a service to access something on the other service. The same concepts apply in Azure, which is a service principal. So, for example, if your application hosted on a PaaS service, such as an app service, and you would like to access some secrets hosted by Azure Key Vault, so you are defining something called the service principal, which means that this service only will get this access to get the client secrets and no one else except the Azure administrator, no one else. Achieving zero trust with Azure networking, we have our native solutions, and we have a very good partnership with other partners. And I would like to hand it over back to my colleague, trained Mike, our friend, to give us more more understanding about the current solutions to secure workloads in Azure.
So thank you, Sultan, for an excellent session. It was very informative, and we got a clear view about what is Microsoft Azure is offering today. So what I am doing, so by the way, my name is Amir, and I'm part of Trend Micro system engineering team. And what I'm going to do today is I will give you an overview on what exactly Trend Micro can offer you uh, when a customer decide to move to Azure, or whenever a customer is actually thinking to put their workloads in Azure. So to understand how to secure a cloud, we should go back to some basics. We should understand what exactly a cloud and what is the difference between a traditional computing and a cloud infrastructure. So we all know this is not something new, but I thought, okay, it makes sense to speak a little about pets and cattle, so that it's very easy to connect to our day-to-day life and what exactly we are doing with cloud. So traditional computing is like a pet. We grow them. We buy a server, we install the operating system, we manage them, we maintain them, and then we will use them. We will keep it in the warehouse, and we will not throw them at all. So pets are something like very close to us. So a traditional computing is something very close to us, but cloud infrastructure is all about a cattle analogy. So it is built for a purpose, and we decommission after the use. We don't maintain that. We don't try to troubleshoot that. If something goes wrong with a specific workload, we kill that workload and then start other workload within minutes or within seconds. So this is what cloud infrastructure. So cattles are basically that, right? Cattles, we grow it for a specific purpose, and after the use is done, we decommission that, or we don't maintain that cattle anymore. So a cloud infrastructure and a traditional computing infrastructure is exactly the same. So the pets are like traditional, and the cattle is basically a cloud infrastructure. So the other thing what we need to know is a new concept called lift and shift. A lift and shift is like, if you have a traditional application running, an on-premise application running on your environment, then if you try to move to cloud, there are two ways that we can move that application to the cloud. One is like, we can rebuild, or we can completely build the application in the cloud, or we can lift and shift exactly the same application to the top. So what happens in this kind of a strategy? What all the problems, what all the challenges you faced in the on-premise setup, you are actually carrying, or you are actually moving the same problem to the cloud as well. So we have to maintain that infrastructure exactly like how we maintain the infrastructure in the on-premise. So lift and shift is one of the approach. There are times where the organizations try to build their applications in a different way. Now the other one is about shift left. So this is a new concept. This is again a new concept. This is actually grown ahead with the cloud. In this, the testing of the product, or the testing of the application, or testing of the infrastructure, everything is actually started from day one or day zero. So the time you decide to build an infrastructure, and once you start at the development cycle itself, the testing of that, the security related to that, everything actually start from the day one. So it is not that traditionally what we do, we build an application, we build an infrastructure, we install everything, and then we go with the security. So once everything is ready, then we install security, and then we'll try to fix the issues related to the security. But today, that is not the concept. The concept is all about shift left, start from the scratch. When we decide to start building an application, when we decide to start building an infrastructure, from that day itself, what all the complementary solutions required, complementary technologies required, will start testing, and then will embed into that. So today, the security ops have moved to a development ops. They are DevOps today. So the security has moved towards the left. So what Trend Micro is going to do here? So Trend Micro will help you at every stage, whether it is cats, it is pets, or it is cattle, or lift and shift, or shift left, in any kind of phase of your infrastructure, phase of your business. We help you, and we are everywhere. So if you look at, once we decide to go for a cloud migration, look at that. I mean, this is you have workloads, you have IT operations, you have data centers, and it's everywhere, right? I mean, it's a hybrid environment. But the problem is going to be the same. The ransomware is a ransomware. The operating system which is not patched is still unpatched, and then your users continue to communicate with the CNC server in case if there is a ransomware attack, or so on. So security problems become more complex than it became simpler. So cloud adoption gives a lot of simplicity for most of the customers, but actually speaking, the security is a bit complex. It is not because of that you have moved up to a different infrastructure. It is because that you are maintaining a hybrid infrastructure, and the change in the way you manage your workloads. So the operational challenges is like, it's a hybrid and multi-cloud. It is not, we have seen that it is not that customers are with one single cloud, customers are with multiple clouds. And then getting a central visibility of everything is still a question. So you have cloud infrastructure, you have physical infrastructure, you have something on virtual infrastructure. So you need to have a central visibility from one place. That becomes a challenge. And the performance is like, whenever there is something new comes, till the time it can actually settle down, till the time you do the right fine tuning, the performance will always a problem. So you need to start evolving. You need to actually start thinking something different from yesterday to have a better security for tomorrow. So the other problem, what exactly the cloud brings here, is about the shared responsibility. I mean, security is a shared responsibility. So your infrastructure will be provided by Microsoft Azure in this case, and then you have your data, you have all your workloads, your intellectual property, everything will run it on top of that. But if you look at the security is a shared responsibility. So some of the portion will be taken care by your cloud provider, that is Microsoft Azure in this side, but the remaining everything has to be taken care by us, that is the customer, especially your intellectual property, your patching of the application, any kind of exploitation in a specific operating system, any workload, everything has to be managed by a customer. But the other portion, the base portion, will be taken care by the Microsoft Azure team. So here is a single stop shop or a single solution from Sun Micro called Sun Micro Cloud One, which takes care of almost all security problems of your cloud infrastructure. Okay, so Cloud One is a suite of product, is a group of solution which will help you to address specific challenges or specific issues at every cycle of your cloud adoption. Let me start with container security. So today it is all about containers. People are talking about containers, and we have an exclusive solution for container security. So in container security, there are two things what we do. One is like you have images. You have images to go and fire to your cloud infrastructure. So before the images are fired to a cloud infrastructure, we have an option of actually going and doing a scan, and then we'll come and tell you whether this images has any kind of malware, or it has any kind of vulnerabilities, and it has any kind of security compromising gaps. All this information will be provided by container security from Cloud One. The second one what we have is application security. In application security, what we do, we go through code by code, and then before the application is actually published to the infrastructure, we go through the application code, and then we'll come and tell you that, hey, you know what, this code has some kind of a challenges, and this may create some kind of security compromises. So this can create some kind of exploitation in your application. So you have an option of actually going and changing that code. You have an option of actually making the right changes before you publish an application to the server. The third one is about file storage security. In file storage security, if you have a storage from Azure, what you can do is like any file which is getting uploaded to the storage, before the file gets uploaded, we scan that and we make sure that there are no malware, there is no malicious component which is going to your storage. So anything which goes to your storage will be scanned, will be protected, and then you need not to worry about that. The fourth one what we have is cloud conformity. Cloud conformity is a very interesting solution from Sun Micro. In cloud conformity, what we do is, if you have certain workloads running in the cloud infrastructure, we have an option of actually going and monitoring, auditing, and coming in and auditing, monitoring, and giving an assessment on the workload. Will come and give you any security gap, any kind of a misconfiguration in the workload infrastructure. And it's not just we will provide you the misconfiguration, we will also provide you a set of recommendation, and then we can also go and actually recover. We can also go and remediate the misconfiguration in the cloud infrastructure. So cloud conformity is a service from Sun Micro which will help you to identify the misconfigurations in a workload or in a cloud infrastructure. We'll give you a complete report on what all the challenges what we are seeing, what all the security compromises we are seeing, and then we will also give you a recommendation, and we can also go and auto remediate the misconfiguration in the cloud infrastructure. The fifth one is about network security. Network security is our tipping point or our IPS solution on cloud. So your cloud infrastructure will be protected by our tipping point or NIPS, which is on cloud, which will make sure that none of the all the packets which is coming in, all the communication which is coming in will go through a deep packet inspection, and if anything is malicious will be blocked. The last one is about workload security. Workload security is a deep security as a service. We all know deep security. Deep security is a flagship product from Sun Micro, and workload security is a solution which is as a service which will protect your workloads in cloud. Now, these are the solutions from Sun Micro Cloud One. Once you go for a subscription of Cloud One, then you basically get all these solution in place. Where exactly this works? These are cloud native. These are made for your cloud application. So anytime you decide to move to Microsoft Azure, then you can actually go for a subscription of Trend Micro Cloud One, which will come with all these things, and then you will be able to protect your cloud infrastructure. It is not that this solution only work for cloud infrastructure. For example, if you have workload security, this workload security can spill over from your cloud infrastructure to your physical and virtual infrastructure as well. So one management console will have a complete visibility on your physical, virtual, cloud workloads. This will help you to meet your risk and compliance, and it will give you an acceleration towards your compliance as well, especially PCI, NIST, GDPR, HIPAA, and so on. So let us discuss more about workload security. Workload security, as you know, this is the deep security as a service. This is an agent-based solution, which you have to go and install this agent all the workloads. Workloads are basically the servers, and we support almost all operating system which you can think of, starting with Windows to Linux to AX and anything which you can think of. It can run on any platform. Coming to cloud, it's not just Azure. We can work on any platform. AWS, Google, and so on. Virtual support 100%, and then the physical data center it supports VMware, Hyper-V, anywhere. Whether it is serverless or it's cloud or it's virtual or data center, anywhere it supports, and almost all operating system it works. Now it has a strong API integration portfolio available, and the features what exactly it provides is basically three things. One is from a network level, a system level, and a malware level. In network level, we basically do three things. One is we will provide you a firewall, which firewall will make sure that the ports are unwanted ports are blocked, and anything which is coming there, we will scan for that based on the port traffic. Number two is an IDS and IPS. This is nothing but virtual patching. We'll come to that later. So we will provide you, or we'll protect your applications from getting exploited, especially if it is coming through a known vulnerability. From a system security level, we have a control over your applications, monitor your applications running in your operating system. So if there are some applications which you want to block, or if you want to have an application whitelisting and a blacklisting policy, on a single click, you will be able to achieve that application whitelisting and blacklisting thing. We have a log inspection, and we also have a file integrity monitoring part of this workload security. So from a system security level, we will provide you three things. One is like application whitelisting, number two, log inspection, and number three, a file integrity monitoring. The last one, but not the least, is basically a malware protection. So we have an advanced malware protection for your servers. So from a cloud one workload security perspective, we will provide you three things: a network security, a system security, and a malware protection. Deployment is straightforward. It is an automated deployment, and this is an agent-based solution which need to have an agent on all the machines in your infrastructure. So virtual patching. Whoever knows Trend Micro knows what is virtual patching, and that is one of the flagship, or one of the very one of the unique offering from Trend Micro here. So if there is a vulnerability in an application or operating system, people can actually exploit that. So to stop exploitation, or to prevent exploitation, you need to have a patch in place. So look at a current scenario, or look at the practical scenario. If there is a vulnerability, and if the OEM or if the product owner comes and give you a patch, usually it will take around 14 to 28 days for us to go and deploy the patch. But in cloud, it is different. You can actually kill that workload, and then you can start a new workload. But however, it takes its own time, because you need to do some kind of a configuration. So even though if there is a patch, there are times where customers will take, or the infrastructure will take some time to adopt that patch, until the time the workload remains unsecured. So the value of virtual patching is, even though if you don't patch, we will provide you a virtual patch, which you can go and apply that. This virtual patch will protect your application from getting compromised. So this is not a permanent solution, but this is a temporary solution. So how exactly it works is, Trend Micro workload security or deep security SaaS continuously monitor your applications, your operating system, and come and tell you that there are some vulnerabilities I'm seeing, and these are the virtual patches available for that. So what you can do, you can on a single click you will be able to apply that patch. If you think that even you don't want any kind of a manual approach here, you want to automatically apply this patch, what we have to do is you have to go and put a check mark saying that do an assessment and apply this virtual patch automatically. So what happens, as soon as I see a vulnerability, I will not wait for the administrator to come and come and tell us that you have to apply the patch. The patch will be automatically applied, and your application's operating system will be protected from getting infected or protecting from getting compromised. So virtual patch is a very beautiful concept. This is part of your deep security as a service. So this helps you with a lot of operational challenges of deploying the patch or running a workload in an unsecure portfolio and so on. So if you have any questions, we can take it up later. So how we are able to do that? Why we are saying that a virtual patch, we are able to protect your applications from zero-day vulnerability. So Trend Micro runs world's one of the largest bug bounty program. In this bug bounty program, we have around 3,500 freelancers, and at times, if there is a vulnerability, vulnerability disclosure, we may buy it from them. Sometimes, the bug bounty freelancers contribute to Trend Micro. In any case, what we do, this program will actually give you visibility on most of the zero-day vulnerabilities. So once we get this vulnerability, what we do, we go and actually provide this information to the product owners or the application owners. So they may take some time to confirm that and then come up with a solution or a patch or so on. But what exactly Trend Micro will do is Trend Micro will start giving you protection from day one, from the day we come to know about it. Okay, so this is the value of zero-day initiative. So from a number perspective, what we had seen is like in an average 81 days before we are able to identify a zero-day vulnerability, and then we are protecting the customers from getting compromised. And in an average, after 81 days, the other vendors or the product owners will disclose that, and they may come up with a patch or so on. This is not the case with everyone, but if you look at from an average perspective, in an average, we are giving you protection 81 days before other vendors or 81 days before the actual product owner give you the protection for that. Now, we need to have some proof for that, right? For example, the latest one what we are talking about is like CVE 2020. This is basically about the zero logon exploit attempt. In this case, it is some of the results says that within 3 seconds to 15 seconds, people will be able to take control of your machine if this vulnerability is present. So what Trend Micro did is Trend Micro has released a virtual patch for 3 products. One is for deep security and Apex One. So we have a rule available. We have a patch available. The only thing what we do is like you go and actually apply that patch, and this patch will get applied into the server, and after that nobody will be able to remotely, or nobody will be able to take control of your machine. So these 3 products, deep security, Apex One, and Tipping Point, has this virtual patch available. On a single click, you will be able to prevent that. From a deep security perspective, it is if you want to make it as automated, you can automate all these things. The deep security will automatically scan for the vulnerability. If it identifies the vulnerability, then it will apply this patch. Everything is automated, and you need not do anything. So I have a small video here. This video will show you how exactly the virtual patching. So this is the zero logon virtual patching public disclosure. If you go to server without virtual patch, 3 seconds the attacker control. If you go to deep security console and if you apply this patch, the patch is applied. Access is denied, and then you'll also get a reporting saying that there was an attempt and then the access is denied. So this is the power of virtual patching. So numbers speaks. So if you look at in 2018, more than 50% of zero-day vulnerabilities was disclosed by Trend Micro. So in the previous slide, we told you that 81 days before we are protecting you, and now we are showing that 53% or 52% of vulnerabilities was disclosed by zero-day initiatives. And now you can imagine, so 1 out of every vulnerability, in an average 81 days before, we are protecting our customers than any other vendor, or sometimes than the product vendor. So this is the power of deep security, and this is the power of zero-day vulnerability. Give me a second here. Okay, so it is not just for your the deep security as a service is not just for your workloads. If you have containers, then the only thing what you have to do is, like, by default, this container security is enabled. So otherwise, you have to go ahead and put a check mark saying that install your workload security, just enable your container security, and then what it does is, like, this will continue to monitor your containers, intra communication between your containers, and then this will give you a protection for any security compromises which can anticipate through a container infrastructure. So workload security can help you to meet or accelerate your compliance, some of the compliances certifications. It meets some majority of the points. For example, if you look at PCI, then we will help you to cover around 8 controls. If it is NIST, we help you to meet some of the controls and so on. So and we will also give you a MITRE attack framework alignment of the attacks which is coming in. If there is an IOA, there is an incident of attack, then we can we can come and actually correlate that with the MITRE framework as well. So coming to Azure, there is an out-of-box integration for workload security with Azure Sentinel. Azure Sentinel, as Sultan said, that is the SIEM solution on cloud that has the ability to actually correlate and digest a huge amount of data. And we have a out-of-box integration. So go to workload security and then do some kind of settings. Then automatically you will actually push the logs and events to Azure Sentinel, and then you can take an advantage of that as well. So from a mapping service, I mean, the Azure service is basically a virtual machine, and workload security is a solution for that. If it is containers, then we have an application security. So we have the Azure services and the relevant security products for that. If it is storage blobs, then we have file storage security. Some of the solutions are in roadmap, but everything is actually coming in place. So once you go and take a service from Azure, then and the security portion is actually built or already built, or that is in the roadmap from Trend Micro already. So from a third-party analyst, Gartner, IDC, and Forrester, everyone actually recommend Trend Micro at the highest, especially from a cloud workload security perspective. From an IDC report, the cloud workload security market is around $1 billion, and we have 30% share out of that. So 1 out of every 3 servers in the world is protected by Trend Micro. There is a power of Trend Micro workload security. So in terms of depth, breadth, revenue, innovation, or protection, everything, the workload security stands really high than any other vendor in the market. Okay. So I'm done, and if you want to try the security for Azure, you can just go to trendmicro.com/Azure, then you'll get the complete security portfolio, security products, which is available for Azure.